Thompson.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm very proud today to speak in firm support of the Crime and Policing Bill. Crime, and especially day-to-day antisocial behaviour, feels to many of my Erewash constituents to have grown exponentially over recent years. It impacts every part of my constituency, from the town centres in Ilkeston and Long Eaton to the villages like Draycott and suburban areas like Cotmanay. This bill is about making people feel safe, so Erewash residents from Sawley to Shipley View can live their lives free from the fear of crime. As our local police forces were, under the previous government, gutted by austerity, so-called low-level offences like antisocial behaviour, shoplifting, even burglary were increasingly ignored and functionally decriminalised by the Conservative Party. Shoplifting, for example, Madam Deputy Speaker, is one of the crimes functionally decriminalised under the previous government's negligence. A government who set guidelines stating that shoplifting should not be dealt with if less than £200 worth of goods were stolen. While the major supermarkets and surviving high street chains might be able to stomach that volume, it's our small businesses that can't. How are these businesses meant to grow? How are investments meant to be made? Town centres meant to thrive? People meant to feel safe, Madam Deputy Speaker, when criminals and thieves were given impunity by the previous government through the Shoplifters Charter issued by them. The bill we debate today, Madam Deputy Speaker, repeals that Thieves' Charter, which will surely come as a relief to the business owners and the hard-working, law-abiding majority of people who make up both my constituents in Erewash and our country. Knife crime, Madam Deputy Speaker, has more than doubled in Derbyshire in the last decade. The recent horrific stabbing and subsequent death of a teenager in my constituency has given rise, rightly, to a lot of anger in my community, some of which was ended up directed at me, with people asking me bluntly, what am I going to do about it? Well, that, Madam Deputy Speaker, is why I'll be very, very proud to vote for a bill today that creates a new offence for the possession of a bladed item with the intent to cause harm. It gives our police the new, stronger powers that they need to seize, keep and destroy knives confiscated from private properties. Finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'll come to violence against women and girls. In 2024, 13,000 stalking and harassment offences were recorded in Derbyshire, the highest in the East Midlands, along with more than 3,400 sexual offences. In that time, one of my great friends and constituents reported to the police that she had been followed and shouted at with sexual verbal abuse. This abuse happened in public, in broad daylight, on West Park in Long Eaton. It is this government's mission to halve violence against women and girls in a decade. And if we are to do that, Madam Deputy Speaker, our police will need the measures included in this bill. If we have entered now into the decade of national renewal that this government has promised, yes, we need to get the economy growing again. Yes, we need to get Britain building again. Yes, we need to get the NHS back on its feet. But we must also ensure that crime is punished and that the police are given the powers they need to properly enforce against offenders. We must take back our streets and excise the rot. If we can do this, Madam Deputy Speaker, restoring social order and respect for our communities, then we can fix broken Britain.